Where's the rabies?
You promised us rabies. Welcome to Something Feral, the podcast where three friends watch, eat, and talk trash. We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
I'm Brianna.
And I am Regular Blaze today.
Regular Blaze.
I thought I would tell the story of how I got my nickname because some folks have been asking, so here I go. Once upon a time, Kate and I were living together in my auntie's house, renting it.
Beautiful time. Buckingham Palace. The Irish had taken over Buckingham Palace.
Yes. So one day she discovered a photo of me on the wall, and it was a photo of me and my three cousins. I don't know. I think we were like 8 to 10 years old. It was me and my three boy cousins. And I think it's important to note, at the time, I really wanted to be a boy, and I sure looked like one. I went by Sam. It was a whole thing. But anyway, so the photo is of us on the beach at sunset, and we had just gone swimming, and my cousins look just like cute little kids. I am in the photo. I went swimming with my white tank top on. I'm missing a tooth. I look like a rodent in this photo. And I think, what did you say? You look like a little...
I think I said a trashy little boy.
Yeah, you look like a trashy little boy named Blaze. But yeah, so you gave me the nickname Blaze because I looked like a trashy little rat child.
Okay, I also... No, okay. This story makes me sound like such a villain. I need to defend myself here because Blaze always said, I was so ugly in middle school. Like, I looked like a boy. I was so ugly. And we went to middle school together.
We all went to middle school together.
Yeah, and I remember at the time... that just wasn't true. Like, I remember thinking you looked so cool because you dressed like Avril Lavigne, and
you were like a cool kid.
Yeah.
I thought in middle school.
Yeah, me too. And
you
like,
were a skater girl.
Yeah, but like I didn't skateboard. It was posing. I was posing.
Yeah, but everybody's posing in middle school.
Yeah, no, I wore like Jimi Hendrix. The reason I started listening to Jimi Hendrix and am a Jimi Hendrix fan now is because I bought a Jimi Hendrix shirt at Hot Topic in middle school, and I was like, well, I don't want to look like a poser. I better at least listen to Jimi Hendrix. But anyway, Blaze always said that she was unattractive and looked like a boy, and that just wasn't true, and I just didn't believe it. Again, I'd known her since middle school. We'd lived together a long time. I'd seen some old pictures. Like, you're just, like, kind of full of shit. Like, you didn't. And nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of this.
Nothing wrong with lying.
No, there's nothing wrong with looking like a little boy. I just mean to say, like, you simply didn't. And then I saw this picture, and everything, like, clicked into place. Like, I knew you weren't bullshitting me anymore, or just being like, oh, you know, everyone says they were ugly in middle school and whatever, and some people just weren't. Like,
nope, she was ugly. That's for sure.
It was just a weird time, and I was like, oh, I see why you feel that way. Like,
shut up, I was ugly. Let's be honest.
No, you were never ugly. You looked like a
boy.
a little punk.
I think out of the three of us, I had the hardest look in middle school.
Oh, I disagree. My teeth.
No way.
My hair.
My hair was straight, and I had like 2 strands.
No, it's between me and Brianna, but I do win because of how bad my teeth were.
I was missing a tooth.
No, like
Me too.
My tooth was you know that, like, the one that I got implanted, it was like, it wasn't fully attached.
Right, no, but like I had
it.
a full shark mouth. Like, my braces made a smile shape because my orthodontia was so extreme.
Dude, my orthodontia was 100% worse than your orthodontia.
I had 2 rows of teeth like a shark.
I had headgear.
So did I.
Well, weigh in. We'll post our middle school pictures, listeners.
Please
Tell us who's the ugliest.
audience,
Be
tell
honest.
us who was the ugliest.
Be honest and cruel.
In all seriousness, though, like, I really do want to say thanks to everyone who's, like, sent us nice notes and given us nice feedback. It really has, I mean...
just fueled our fire.
Yeah, we're a small podcast. We are building the plane as we're flying it. And for just, like, all these nice notes have been... It's just been so cool. I'm so happy that, like, the tens of people who listen in, of them, a majority are enjoying themselves.
Also, I want to say, for those of you that voted that there were better options, shit, like...
Wait, I didn't see that. People did?
It was at 20 to 80%. 20%!
I didn't see that. Oh my God.
Yeah, what was the other option?
What? Yeah, no one commented and gave the other option.
They just said there was a better way.
They just said there was a better way. And I challenged that.
When I saw it, it was at 100, had said
Nope.
she did what she had to do.
Oh, you know who did vote against me? Dale.
That's so funny.
Did Dale have a suggestion of how to another choice?
Dale was like, you should have just gone in the woods.
No, that's not really an option.
Then he would have known that you were doing it, and that's what you were trying to avoid.
Exactly.
Because you're a lady.
I'm a lady, and I did the lady-like thing and
You
shat in the lake.
like a lady.
That's right. And I'd do it again.
I do it again.
Oh, fuck. And you better keep listening.
Yeah, you better.
Or else Blaze will come for you in the night.
I think before we get into segments, I also want to issue an apology to Blaze for last week because I had forgotten when we were talking about your foot binding that our Lord and Savior, Celine Dion, also was of this methodology. A little bit different. I don't think that she felt the same way about her feet in particular.
Okay.
But she had like this great quote about like, it's not about the shoe. It's not about my foot. It's about the shoe.
Yeah, making the shoe fit.
Making the shoe fit. And she was like, I don't care what size the shoe is. Like, it's going on my foot.
The different mentality than mine, but I get it.
Different, but like, I remember thinking that and I was like, you know what? Okay. All right.
No, it's respectable. And we've all been there.
Like, Kristen was binding her feet because she thought it looked better.
Right, but it wasn't because... it's not because she was like presented with like a Dior shoe. Like
These were Vans.
Yeah, it was like I better buy a size smaller in my Vans. Yeah.
It's okay. I wanted to say you have more in common with Celine Dion.
So you're saying I am Celine Dion is what you're saying?
Yes.
That's exactly what you're saying. Thank you so much.
You're so
Actually,
welcome.
perfect timing because did you know that today is the 25th anniversary? The day we're recording is the 25th anniversary of Celine Dion's hit song, That's the Way It Is. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's letting down, don't give up on your faith.
Satan.
Love comes to those who believe it. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Oh.
You're actually really good at that.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
So that's like, I feel like that's you. Like, my song is Treat Her Like a Lady.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nobody performs Treat Her Like a Lady better than me.
That's correct. 100%. Classic.
Celine, if you're listening.
If you are listening, my queen, we've seen her. We saw her when
We
she
did.
on her Courage
She
tour.
was my first concert too when I was a kid. What's the album with
Which one?
Titanic?
Oh, with
My Heart Will Go On.
the dark.
Yeah, the black album. Where,
Yeah, with just her. Yeah.
My mom took me to that show. I was convinced, my little second grade self was convinced that Leonardo DiCaprio
Was gonna be there?
and he was going to come on stage when that song was being sung. And I cannot tell you how disappointed I was.
Oh,
that
sure.
did not happen.
So you just thought he was gonna like stand there while
I
she
thought
sang?
he was going to, like, I pictured Celine being like Tate Winslet. Like,
Oh, okay.
in
Sure.
like, yeah, in this dream scenario of mine.
I mean, that is also my dream scenario.
Yeah, obviously.
So, oh no, she's so amazing. I'm trying to think. You've really piqued my interest though. Like, so what is like each of our Celine Dion song?
Well, mine's That's the Way It Is because as a child,
Those are fighting words. It's my song.
no, it is my song because
I had that CD and I would play it
We
alone
all
in my
had the
room.
CD.
at my grandmama's pool when we went to Florida, we swam, and every day that song came out at the same time, and I did a full routine for all the olds. It is my song. Get another one.
I will concede if you perform it.
Oh, yours is
Drive All Night.
Drive All Night.
Drove all night, you think?
I drove all night.
Yeah. That's,
To get to you. Is that all right?
what's her? Oh, there's another one that I really love. It's not called To Love You More. I always want to call it that.
Is it a ballad or a banger?
It's a banger for sure, but it's like an emotional banger.
They're all emotional bangers.
Right, but it's not like Drove All Night has like a, it's like a, you could dance to
And
it like that.
Treat Her Like a Lady.
Treat Her
is
Like a Lady.
in a category of its own.
Dare I say she explores hip hop a little bit
Oh, she's
in
like,
Treat Her Like a Lady.
she's not speaking English in Treat Her Like a Lady.
It's unclear. A language all her own.
A language all her own.
One I would like to become fluent in.
No, I would be, if there was a Celine Dion language, I would be fluent in it.
Yeah.
And just to be like clear, we've also multiple times performed. We call it track A because that's the actual track.
Yeah.
It is on like the physical CD.
it's all coming back to me now.
It's all coming back to me now. And when I say
the
we
7-minute version.
7-minute version,
That's all our songs.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
true.
our
the
song.
group song.
The
It's been
group song.
performed at both of your weddings.
2 weddings, yeah. It's been performed at 2 weddings. And again, the full 7 minutes.
Absolutely.
Where both of us got on the ground in our wedding dresses.
That's part of the performance.
Yeah, it's a requirement.
You need to be on the floor at some point.
You're not supposed to look good.
Best music video of all time, I'll say it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to get to. So during COVID, a couple of we had just moved back to Michigan right after COVID, and a bunch of our friends were doing, like, during lockdown, Taskmaster tasks. It's a British TV show, and essentially it's like these kind of like goofy challenges, and like we were doing these like one of them was record a music video, and whoever has the funniest music video like wins the task. Like it's just meant to like for all of us to keep together, and it's a pretty funny show, and like it's fun. And so the task was a music video, and I recorded a 7-minute just me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With the fan, I remember that was so good.
I'm like writhing around in like a silk robe.
No, it was so good.
My husband Dale, he's gonna be so mad when he finds out that's what I named him after. My husband Dale like recorded it, but then he also edited it into the original Celine Dion music video.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we'll have to post that.
I was gonna say it was filmed brilliantly.
Oh yeah, we like cleaned the whole house. Like we did the work.
Yeah. As you should.
Yeah.
Paying respect to the queen.
That's damn right. Yeah. So
the only queen I recognize.
the only church I recognize.
Honestly, fair. Respectable.
Thank you. My Lord and Savior, Celine Dion. So then do we want to just jump into our next segment?
Yeah, let's do it. Feral behavior.
Yeah. So our first segment, as usual, is going to be feral behavior. And as we're getting more fans that we spoke about earlier, we want you guys to send in any acts of ferility.
That feels wrong.
I know it does. Any feral acts that you feel we should read, and it will be anonymous if you'd like. Otherwise, who knows? But I'm going to share, I think the original feral behavior.
It's like literally
feral. So it is my story.
It's your truth.
It's my truth. It's my life. So I'm going to start with some context, because if I don't, you guys are going to think I'm a nutcase.
It's important.
My mother, for my entire childhood and still to this day, has been a licensed rehabber with the DNR. But she was a licensed rehabber when I was a kid for wildlife, and primarily like small mammals, including raccoons. And so I grew up on a pretty wooded property, and it really is like kind of a weird situation, because the wooded property is in an area that you would not expect. Like you go back and you're like, wait, where did this like giant like swath of land come from?
The woods come out of nowhere because it's in like a normal neighborhood, but except for this home.
Surprise woods.
Surprise woods, yeah. Well, it backs up to that nature preserve. So it is like, it's just like a very like unusual spot for just like a suburban home. And there's a lot of wildlife on the property itself, obviously. And so my mom feeds a lot of the wildlife. So she feeds the deer and the birds and
whether or not she should. I'll say it. Sorry.
So we have a lot.
Raccoons are not endangered in this area. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think raccoons are in danger anywhere.
Right.
Like rats.
Yeah, exactly.
They are not like, how dare you insult our mascot?
I said what I said.
I think it works for our vibe, but I do think raccoons are gross and kind of scary.
No, they're wonderful.
Ew, they're scary
they clean
hands.
Their hands.
They're scary little hands.
No, they're wonderful. So growing up, my mom raised a lot of wildlife. Typically, it was like abandoned raccoons or possums or, again, small mammals. And she'd nurse them, get them up until they were independent, and then she'd release them. So none of them are ever kept as pets. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay,
we both look at each other.
Blaze and I are just looking at each other for those who are
like, that's crazy of all things. Oh, that.
It is God's work, okay?
Sorry.
So,
to some.
When I was around, actually, this was around the same time of, I think this was post shit.
We were definitely in college.
Yeah, I think I was 19. This was a rough year for me,
I think. Quite the year.
Yeah, it was a big year. And so I was on the property, and one of the raccoons, in not really it wasn't an aggressive attack or anything. I got bit by one of the raccoons.
How did you get bit? What were you doing?
walking.
You weren't feeding the raccoons?
I was not feeding a raccoon.
Oh, so
no.
one just ran up to you and bit you?
It like kind of like grabbed my pant leg and gave me like a little bite. It was a juvenile. It was not a rabbit. It was not an adult. It broke the skin, but it was not like again, the raccoon was not rabid, but for safety purposes, obviously I had to go get a rabies vaccination. Now, because I was 19 at the time, I went to the ER. And because I was 19, they let me go to the pediatric ER. So I'm in the pediatric ER. I'm also sat in a giant fire truck.
Like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, when he's like getting checked for, I think, an
like
STD.
An STD.
And the same vibe, right? So I'm talking to the nurses, and they're basically walking me through what a rabies vaccination regimen looks like. So
brutal.
For those
The
of you that
horrors.
don't know, it is a multi-shot regimen. So for every shot that you get that's rabies vaccine, you also get another shot in addition to it that's called immunoglobulin. Essentially, it's like a shot to increase your immune reaction to the vaccine. Because if you do not get vaccinated and you have, like, you're dead.
Yeah,
there
it's
is no
bad.
like treatment. It's like by the time you are showing symptoms of rabies, you are dying.
And if you don't fully die, like I saw one woman on the news like many, many years ago.
It was around the same time I got bit.
Who like survived.
She survived, yeah.
Barely. Like she is not like
Or she
thriving.
was in like a coma for like 6 months. It was like quote unquote a miracle that she survived, but like it was not.
The miracle is the vaccine.
She didn't know she got bit though. Like, because a lot of,
is that what happened?
Well, a lot of people that I think do die from rabies, or like it's typically it's bats. Like bats are primarily the thing that carry the rabies the most often, to be perfectly honest. So like raccoons and like other mammals are not as high of a risk. Like you really don't hear of cases.
It feels like you're just trying to justify all this raccoon care and obsession, but
I love raccoon.
It ain't right.
I'm sorry. So with the shot, you get 4 shots the first time, and then in 3 days you have to come back for 4 more shots. A week from that, you get 4 more shots, and then I think it's 3 weeks from that you go in and get shots again. Ugh. And so the nurses were, just to be clear, wonderful. They were really great, but they did bamboozle me. Bamboozle is the word I'm going to use, because they were like, okay, there's 4 shots. We have to give them to you in your shin because that's where you got bit, which any shot in the shin is going to be a nightmare. So they decided and told me that if they did all 4 of them at once, I would only feel 1 needle prick.
I mean,
what logic is that?
So
unless they're very close together.
No, because it's not true. It's not true.
I mean,
it's just not true.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say, because I also feel like you may as well just do it all at once, just because. Like, you don't want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, but that's a weird way to say. Like, I feel like the underlying message is it's better to do it all at once because it's way more miserable to go slowly in a row. But
it's
like, why
miserable
would they say it like
no
that?
matter. There is no
course.
like less miserable solution here.
I agree, but I think it would be worse to. I think getting them all at once is better because at least it's over faster.
Well,
I don't know. You would know. Yeah.
Needless to say, I had nurses double fisting. They each had a needle in each hand. So they're like this. I have 1 on my left, 1 on my right, and then they counted to 3 and stabbed me and injected all at the same time. And so I get the shot. I kind of had like a bit of I don't want to say a reaction. I just sort of like, I just got like a shit ton of drugs in my shin. And overall, I just wasn't feeling well, but it's fine. So I come back for my 3-day regimen. They tell me, okay, you have to come through the ER. I was just like brought in, and you were there for this because that's how I remember. They're like, oh, it's you. Just come on over and sit here. And they gave me my vaccines in the waiting room.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Not in the waiting room, but like in a hallway. I wasn't in a bed.
She wasn't like in a lobby, but you weren't given like your own bed to lay down in or anything.
I was given like a chair.
Oh.
But like you didn't need a bed. Like you were a grown up.
I did because I started coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing.
No, I wasn't there for a coughing fit.
So long story short, after some more of these shots, I started developing a cough. So at the time, I figured I had like bronchitis or something, right? So I have this cough, and I'm 19, so I don't have a primary care doctor, right? Like,
You should.
I know.
At this point.
Yeah, teens.
No, and also like
With the diarrhea, the rabies, there's a lot going on.
in college, everyone's like there's always like weird shit going around in the dorms. Someone's got a cough, like
Rabies.
I would have chalked
Casual.
rabies,
Colds, rabies, very casual. So I started developing this coughing. And when I say coughing, it was like honk coughing. It was like I was coughing from like my chest, like a seal like barking was how bad this cough was. And it wasn't constant. I would get like fits, basically.
Yeah, it was annoying. I mean, I felt bad for you, but the sound was annoying.
Well, my other friends, like all my friends from like college, call me the Black Plague during this period because I sounded like I was dying from the Black Plague, like every time I had one of these coughing fits. And so the bronchitis never went away. So then I went back to the doctor and they're like, oh, you have asthma. And I'm like, I don't think I have asthma, but okay. So they were like, you know, here's an inhaler. Still wouldn't stop. I go back a third time. Oh, you have something else, right? And so I just keep coming back to the clinic. And this goes on for 6 months. Finally, the 6th month, I go to the clinic and this particular like intern or whatever was like, let me go get the attending. And he comes on and he's like, oh no, you need to like go see a pulmonologist. Like he's like, you can't keep coming to this clinic. Like you need to go see a lung specialist. Like that's way too long to have a cough at your age. So I go to the lung specialist. And first he's like, oh, you had an allergic reaction. It caused lung damage. We need to find out what caused allergic reaction. And I was like, well, I started coughing after I had this vaccine. And I want to be very clear. I'm looking at the camera. I would do it again. Okay?
Yeah.
It's better than rabies.
Do it again. Do not take this as a warning to not get vaccinated for rabies.
Oh my God.
Don't have to say that twice.
You will die.
No, like a rough death.
A horrible death.
Preventable. A preventable horrible death.
A preventable horrible death. Okay, so take the rabies vaccine. Get your double fisting in your needles.
Get double fisted.
Get double fisted. So they did like a full back scratch test. Nothing came back. And then he's like, oh, you're probably allergic to like pet dander. I'm like,
said, bring that raccoon back in.
I'm like, sir.
That makes me so mad.
I also like, again, my mom does not just wildlife rescue, but she had, at the time we had like 5 or 6 cats, a dog. Like there's been pet dander in my house since infancy.
Birds, squirrels.
Yeah, everything. And I was like, sir, if I was allergic to any sort of pet dander, I would be dead, not coughing.
Oh yeah. Long time ago.
And I know you can develop allergies, but like
No,
there's no fucking way. So they did like an under the skin test. They could not like test me for an allergy against that vaccine because it's rabies.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do?
Bring that raccoon back in.
Yeah. Here again.
Track him down.
And it's also like, if I'm allergic to rabies, what does it matter?
Right, like to deal with it.
Right, because again,
Because you know what's
even
worse?
if I-
You know what's worse than an allergic reaction to the rabies shot?
rabies.
You think your mom would be like, oh, maybe I should stop feeding the raccoons because my daughter almost got rabies, but no.
That wouldn't slow her down.
No, it's sped up.
I don't think I was really at risk for having rabies. Like,
You were surrounded by raccoons and one bit you, so
They surrounded
that
your
is-
car. Remember the one time you were called Brianna screaming from inside? I was there, and you're like, I can't get out of the car. I'm trapped.
I remember being like, this is gonna sound made up, but I can't get out of the car because I am surrounded by raccoons. She's shaking her head, but it's the truth.
Tell the people how many there were outside.
There were at least 40 around my
at their
car.
height, probably 40. It's not anywhere like that anymore, though. So, anywho, but I got an actual regimen. They put me on a steroid. Now, things only get worse. My cough does get better, but I had a bad reaction to the steroids.
Oh my God.
And like all my hair fell out. Like I was having clumps of hair falling out because they had to put me on such a high dose of steroids.
Still
To
better
kill
than
the
rabies.
rabies. Yeah,
Still better than rabies.
Better bald than rabid.
Better bald than rabbit.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, so I have had to, at every single doctor's appointment I've ever had, they ask you, are you allergic to any medicine? And I have to be like, I'm allergic to the rabies vaccination.
And they're like, oh,
Just in
what
case
the
you want
fuck?
it administered again.
Right.
Which, if any of us are gonna, well, no, I don't want to jinx it, but your odds are the highest.
Oh, absolutely. My odds are the highest.
Like, I'm never bringing home a critter.
No, and if there was a critter that you felt the need to like save, you'd call me.
Right.
Like you have.
Yeah, and like it was a bird and I didn't touch it because birds are gross. I mean, many are beautiful and
You
majestic.
captured the bird, though.
Yeah, but I didn't like ever touch it.
I don't like touch them with my bare hands. Like I wear like, you grab a towel, like you wash your hands, like.
And sometimes it's not enough.
Okay. I've never gotten anything bird
Okay, well then how
related.
did you pick up the mall mouse?
Yeah.
The mall mouse was also, I actually never touched the mall mouse. We swatted the mall mouse into a paper bag.
And where did you take him after that?
I can't say.
Oh, yeah? Why? Because it's inappropriate.
You know what? To be fair, they got shut down for that problem, and that had nothing to do with me. If anything, I reduced the population.
Wow, no.
Of the mall rats? Or
Yeah, dude, that restaurant. Okay, I took the mouse into a restaurant.
Sick. On purpose. She did it on purpose.
But it was in a contained bag. It was not for a long time, and that restaurant got shut down not much later for a mouse infestation.
I wonder how that happened.
Not my mouse.
it climbed out of the box and met another mouse and made more.
And then ran back into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A different mouse. Because there was many, obviously.
We're cutting this. Feral behavior 101 is rabies vaccinations.
Get them.
Get them. Yeah. Get your rabies vax.
Stay away from raccoons.
Actually, stay away from bats. Bats are the real villain.
Bats and raccoons. Sky rodents.
Sky rodents.
Bats or sky
I
rodents.
love bats. You don't like bats?
No.
I feel like you... Wait, but are you into bats aesthetically?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't want rabies, so I don't like... They're really creepy.
Fair, yeah.
I'll never forget one. When I lived in Jackson, I was in bed reading and my door was cracked. It flapped by and I just knew. Like, it's not a bird. I like slammed my doors and I called my dad and I was like, what do I do? And he was like laughing. He was like, get a tennis racket and just kill it. I was like, first of all, I've never played tennis. I just moved here. Why, of all the things that I would have brought into this home, would I have brought a tennis racket?
Right.
A sport I don't play. But he was just like, you got to kill it. Like, what do you know? I mean, my neighbor came over and killed it with a tennis racket, by the way.
It was an actual tennis racket?
Yeah, he came over and killed it with a tennis racket.
My brother woke up with one on his neck in the middle of the night in college.
I would have passed away.
Did he get a rabies vaccination?
No, it didn't bite him, though.
How do you... it came too close.
He probably should have, actually.
Probably, absolutely. Again, PSA to our listeners.
Well, he doesn't have rabies. He's still alive.
Better bald than rabid.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, man.
So that's my most, again, a good a little bit of feral behavior from my side.
Absolutely. And a little bit of our raccoon origin story.
Yeah, I love a good raccoon. I really do. I've been involved with raising a lot of them. They're very sweet.
Raising them.
You do. They're all babies.
So sweet.
They are very sweet. They're like kittens.
No, they're not.
They coo and purr.
Ew.
That one was an adult.
You said it was a juvenile.
A juvenile and a baby are different, okay?
Okay, so it was a teen.
A teen. It was an angsty teen raccoon.
It's almost like they're gross at any age.
It only takes one.
Oh my gosh, those creepy little hands.
Their hands are the best part. Oh.
Well, Blaze, do you want to kick off our next segment?
A great segue. I think we should kick off our next segment, and that is Trash or Treasure. What do we have?
I've got a couple, but I know you have some, Blaze, don't you?
I do. I can talk about mine.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, I needed to clean the house, and I was like, what am I going to listen to? What am I going to watch? So after last week's episode, when I said the word stripper into the phone about the Bridgerton scam ball, I have since gotten a lot of dancer content on my Instagram. Don't hate it, but one of the videos was this girl in a medieval outfit, and she was dancing to the bells of Notre Dame, like the ending, the best part. And it was an incredible video, and I'm like, wow, like I haven't seen the Hunchback of Notre Dame in so long, probably since I was a child.
No, same.
It's not one of those movies you turn on often, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, no.
Wowie. I can't believe that movie is a children's movie. I simply cannot. In the first 5 minutes of this movie, this monster, Frollo, he, in the movie, these are his words, he hates the gypsies, okay? These are his main enemy. He hates them. He is a monster. And in the first 5 minutes, he's chasing a woman who is, it ends up being Quasimodo's mother. He chases her, kills her on the steps of a church, and then he's like, oh, whatever, I hate them. And then he picks up the baby. He's like, oh man, like this is an ugly fucking baby. Like, I'm gonna throw it in the well. So he's like going to throw it in the well. He's like, goodbye. And then the priest comes out of the church and he was like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. I feel pretty good about what I'm doing. Like, he literally says that. He's like, I feel
He's like defending his actions.
Yeah, he feels great
He's like,
about it.
have you seen the baby?
Brianna's on board.
You're right. Put a bow on Quasimodo and I'm on board.
Oh my God.
Monster.
So anyway, this demon Frollo, he's like, I feel pretty good about this. Like, what's your problem? He's like, you have to repent for this forever. Because
is the baby in the well at this point?
No, he's holding him over the well in
Okay.
like a sheet.
Like the priest.
Oh my God,
stops.
this memory is coming back to me. I can see the like visual. I haven't thought about this since I was a child.
Horrible. So the priest is like, look around. He's like, all these people saw you do it, and it's all like gargoyles and like statues on this church. And then Frollo looks at all of them. He's like, oh God, like they all saw me do this. Oh no, he's like, you must take care of this child now. He's like, it's the only way to repay this debt that you have, this monstrous behavior that you have caused. And he's like, fine. So he's like, fine, I'll hide him in the bell tower because he's hideous and ugly. And, basically just abuses him, never lets him out. And
great start to a movie for children.
This is the first 5 minutes to a children's film.
Well, and it's a book too. So it's like, why... I just don't understand, like, what weirdo was like, yeah,
kids will love this.
Yeah, we'll make the gargoyles sing and dance. Like, what?
Theoretically, though, like, when you look back at a lot of those stories are, like, actually really dark, but they, like, really lighten them up.
Right. Like,
right?
The
this
original
one gets light never.
They do not. They did not bother.
No, yeah, like the original Cinderella, like, one of the stepsisters, like, cuts off her toes. And,
Yeah.
like,
Same
the
thing,
Little
like-
Mermaid's real dark, too.
Yeah, a lot of them are really dark.
But yeah, like the ending. So in the middle of this, he sings the Hellfire song. It's a great song. I mean, the music, I will say, like it's probably the worst story in terms of like horror, but like the music in this movie is, I would say, in the top 5. Like it is so good, this music. And I forgot. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there being blasted by this music. I'm like, Jesus, this story is horrible, but like this is a fucking good song, man. This is good. But it's just horrible. I mean, the ending, Esmeralda gets caught by
What does
Frollo.
she get caught for?
So Frollo the whole time is looking for what he calls like their gypsy hideout. Okay, because they all like were, being hunted.
So he's
by
like
this
still
man.
he's like still mad about it after all these years.
Oh yeah, no, his
life.
whole life is dedicated to eradicating them. He's a horrible demon, and so Quasi and Phoebus, the prince in this movie, they end up like leading him there by accident because they were trying to warn her that he is like, trying to
Is
kill them
Phoebus
all.
into Esmeralda, right?
Yes, he's like the prince, I guess. I mean, there's no prince in this movie, but
She's
like,
just like so gorgeous.
she's so gorgeous. He's like, oh my God, like she's so cool. Because she's like, saying fuck you to Frollo. So he loves that. Because he actually hired Phoebus to like help him eradicate. And he's like, no, they're awesome. Like, we're going to save them. But the end of this movie, like, she gets caught. So she is being burned at the stake at the ending.
She spits in his face, doesn't she? Because I always remember thinking that was sick. I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, awesome, a queen. So Quasi's like in the bell tower. He's like, I can't let her burn. So he like swings down, because he can swing from everything because he's Quasi. So he swings down. I mean, I wasn't paying attention at this point because the good music is gone. It's just a horror story at this point. And at some point he like dumps over something with like fire lava in it. I don't know. I really wasn't paying that much attention.
There's lava?
Yeah, there's like lava like at the top of this castle. I don't know.
Is it oil?
I don't know. They made it look like lava, but it obviously wasn't lava. But like it looked like I don't know.
We're not asking questions. This is vibes.
This is like the bad
I'm
part.
sorry.
Of the story. I mean,
Vibes
the
only.
whole thing is horrible. But anyway, he ends up saving her. She's with Phoebus. He's like, whatever, I'm friends. And Quasi's like, cool. Like I have friends. Cool. I guess you could call it a happy ending, but it's really not.
I'm pretty sure in the book he kills himself.
Oh, good.
That's nice to know that they left that out.
Yeah. Wow. Very nice of Disney.
Oof.
Yeah. Yikes.
So trash or treasure? I guess is the question.
Story trash. Music
Treasure.
My God. Like
Duality.
as orchestra people, we can, and I was also a theater geek, so I can appreciate great music.
Absolutely.
Anyway, the moral of the story, this movie should not be for children, but the music slaps. And that is my trash and treasure.
That's a rough weekend.
Yeah, you went through it.
It was an emotional roller coaster, I will
Well, I
say.
think it's also very interesting because to like Anastasia earlier, right? Like we also all love that movie as kids and like still do. Like that movie's great. The Bat Bartok.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, but like that family was gunned down.
Right, exactly. Like they like very much like don't talk about any of the like real tragedy in that movie.
No, and
they cut it out because it's a kids movie, but in Quasimodo they were like, nope.
Okay, so I went to the DIA when there was a Fabergé exhibit. Ooh. And they had they had some of the eggs, they had all these like, I mean, all things Fabergé, and they also had like a bunch of little crystals. I mean, they were all made with like jewels. So the closest thing I could think of is, you know how Swarovski crystals have like little animals and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They had those made with gems, and like a bunch of them were like from like the Romanov era. And I was like, I don't support what happened to those kids, but like when the country is starving and most people can't read and the kids are playing with like sapphire toys, I'm like, I kind of get it.
Did you guys?
I mean,
I got really into the Romanov history.
I think that's part of growing up. Like every young girl has, or young gay, I would argue.
Yeah.
The girls and the gays.
Have an Anastasia phase.
Yeah, we have a Romanov phase, an Anastasia phase specifically.
There was a really good, actually for Treasure, there's a great Netflix. It's weird because it's half like reenactment and like almost like a fictionalization.
I know the vibe you're describing, but
/ documentary.
I like that when it's done right. It really hits.
It's really good, and it actually talks a lot about how Nicholas Tsar was like
Tsar Nicholas
was like basically just took a lot of really bad advice.
Oh, he was like a terrible leader. Yeah, I mean
just like and not like for any like shitty reasons. He just like wasn't very good at it.
He was very bad. Like had no like political calculus either.
Not and just took like really bad advice
from Rasputin.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God! And wasn't the King of England or the Queen they were cousins? And didn't they go there and they were like, "No, get out of here! Like the people already hate us here. Like you got to go back. You can't be here."
It's is
that not what happened?
It was the King of England. And then there was one other cousin that was also Frank.
They had family in like all the royal families from because they're all from like Germany originally.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's what it was. It was Germany. Yeah, good call.
I mean, like. Yeah, that's why they had a lot of the issues they had because of all the cousin fucking. They just, what's the saying? There's like some saying about a family tree. I wish I could remember it.
Your family tree is a wreath.
Yeah. For royals, the family tree is a wreath.
Yeah. So what's your trash and treasure?
Oh, I have two. Well, and mine are both treasure. So I had, I saw One of Them Days with SZA and Keke Palmer. It was so good.
Of course it was.
It was so funny. It was so fun.
How was SZA in it?
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
Because it's her first acting, right?
I think so. Yeah. And Maverick loved it. He was laughing harder than anyone in the theater. I just look over at certain points and he was just like silently hysterical laughing. He loved it. I loved it. And yeah, SZA's hilarious. And he was like, she is my new favorite. Like, she is so funny.
I love anything that Issa Rae does.
Of course. Yeah. And Keke Palmer's so funny. Fellow Virgo. If you're listening, Keke Palmer, which you definitely are.
Their press tour for this show, like for this movie.
So fun.
So much fun. I have been enjoying all of the content coming out of it. Like, it's been such a like bright spot.
Yeah. The director's from Detroit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lives in LA now, but he's from Detroit. Lawrence Lamont is
that's
a
cool.
Detroiter. Yeah.
I love that.
It was so good. Go see it. It was so fun. So fun. And like a nice friendship story too. It was really sweet. And like, yeah, just highly recommend, in these dark times, some good laughter.
Dude, SZA music is like probably my favorite thing to just put on and like vibe to in my house.
She's amazing.
I have that giant stereo, like the vinyl stereo.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I want a record player so
like
bad.
I have SZA on vinyl and I just put that on in the evenings and it's like just it's a real treat.
Yeah, I loved it. And I'll also say my other treasure, speaking of music, is Tate McRae's new song, Sports Car. So sexy and fun.
I listened to it on the way here.
And it bangs.
Like it.
No, you did.
I didn't.
You did, though.
No.
You did. It's giving Britney Spears. It's giving Pussycat Dolls. I loved it. The only complaint I have is that I wish it was longer. And I wish she danced in the video more. Like, she is such a good dancer. Why not? It's so hot. It's so fun. Again, I wish it was a longer song. It's too short.
I have no feelings.
Blaze, have you heard it yet?
I have not heard it.
Ooh, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard any of her music.
You have. I just don't think you could put a finger on it.
I like her. I'm a big fan.
Well, she has a couple songs that I feel like are pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. X's banger.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that album. I really do. I used to put it on my bar playlist. She was a regular. But yeah, love it. Can't wait for this album. It's coming out on February 21st.
For our listeners.
Yeah, go stream it.
Go stream
our friend Tate McRae's album.
Tate McRae.
Oh, fuck. Oy, oy, oy.
All right, what's our next segment?
Okay, so our next segment is Dumpster Dive. So this is where we find material that would have otherwise been lost to the trash of history. Old love letters, diaries, dream journals are just to name a few. And today, Brianna's going to kick us off with a love letter.
Yeah, so I've got, I mean, this one is not a love letter. This is a breakup, like mid-breakup letter. And I think one of the things that I think is really funny about this one, because we pre-read the letters before we, go and read them to you, or to dedicated listeners, is at the top of this letter,
all 15 of you.
It says 4 months today. And that is to signify Bella and Edward's 4-month anniversary of their breakup.
Wow.
4 months, so high school.
4 months since the day they broke up.
I think so, because this is like she's talking about how they're not together.
Okay,
but it says 4 months today, so I have to guess that's what it is. Again, there's no dates on any of these, so we're doing our best. All right, hey ass.
Oh,
Start.
Whoa. You are so screwed up. Oh, you think about me all the time. You still have feelings for me, but yet there's Sarah. All right, that makes a whole lot of sense. Please, Edward, you need to figure out what's going on. Seriously, man, I really hate this. Once again, more mind games. This shit is really stupid. I'm so much in love with you, and you once again broke my heart. I just want to give you the biggest hug and hear you say that you love me, but that's not ever going to happen because of that dumb bitch, Sarah.
Wow, the misogyny is real.
Well, what's going on with us? Anything ever going to happen? Edward, if I was in your shoes, I'd drop who I was with and get back with you. You obviously don't care at all. And you obviously don't ever want to be with me. I feel like I'm wasting all of my time and energy and heart on you. Why don't you realize that I love you so much and we really should be together? Why can't we be together? You're probably going to say because of Sarah, but you could easily dump her like you did me.
Oh, wow. This is quite
How hard is it? Not very. Ooh. Yeah, I do like Jay, Travis, and Joey. They're all cuties. I'd drop them in a heartbeat for you. See, I wish you were ballsy enough to do the same. I've tried so hard to get over you and move on, but I can't. I love you! But you seem to be willing to lose me completely. That's hard. I think about you 24/7. For the past 4 months, I've been wondering what I can do to make things go back to normal. Last night, I got sick. Puked.
Oh.
Because I was thinking about you! Hey, you know how you said you're not jealous anymore? Well, why can't I be friends with Johnny? You're absolutely stupid in so many ways. Words cannot express what's in my heart. I'm hurt, so much anger, so much love, regret, hatred, confusion. A big mess. I'm just so I want to be with you so bad. I've got no reason that's good enough. Why? Why would I want to anyways after you've broken my heart in so many different ways? And my sister and mom thought we'd be high school sweethearts. Yeah, right.
Ugh.
I wish we could have been. Oh, and I'm sure your sister and your mom are thrilled that we're not together anymore.
Wow.
Oh, been there.
Me too.
I wish you were smarter than you are now. You were awesome when we were together. We had fun. We looked good together. But you ruined all of that. I still have sparkles in my eyes every time I see you or talk to you. I get butterflies in my stomach every time I see you. That's how much I still love you. Man, why did all of this have to end up so badly? This is, again, very aggressive strategy. And I think one of the things that I think we'll find in these letters is this happens quite often in this breakup period. There's a lot of mad letters and a lot of come get back together with me letters.
I just feel like she needed a journal.
This
instead.
is her journal.
Right, like a journal for her eyes only.
She should have not put it in the mail to send away.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I do love the oh, you're with that dumb bitch.
I know.
But here are the 3 boys I like.
Yeah, again, the strategy is confusing to me. she seems to want, obviously she wants to get back together with him, but she also seems to hate him.
Right.
So that's tough.
She's doing anything for a response.
Yeah.
She wants him. She wants the attention of him being like, who are these guys? You know, the jealousy thing. It's a game. It's all a game.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of game. We could read another one that kind of falls into this category if we really want to dive into the listeners.
Yeah, listeners, let us know because we have been getting mixed feedback on the letters. Some people really love them. Some people really do not. So we're going to keep going because we're freaks. But, well, the feedback that I got was that I think it's more from people who find like the secondhand embarrassment so painful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like if it was their letters.
So it's like a style choice type thing. I really got to dig out my middle school diaries.
I had a boyfriend in college that like could not deal with like secondhand embarrassment. Like if we were watching a movie and there was like an awkward, like he like would close his eyes and like cover his ears.
Okay, yeah, he was kind of a weenie.
Yeah, not my Dale.
Not my Dale. Dale is the perfect
Just
name
kidding,
for him.
Dale. I love you, Dale. Dale grew up in Indiana.
Dash of white trash.
And Dale has a dash of white trash. And Dale's dad.
Affectionately. We say that affectionately.
Because Dale has.
He says that.
Yeah, he calls him. Yeah, because Dale has a.
Barbed wire tattoo.
It's not barbed wire. He will be so mad if we say it's barbed wire.
Okay.
He has a tribal tattoo from the early 2000s on his arm.
He is not indigenous to.
Well, to be fair, he did draw it himself.
He is not indigenous.
It's not really a tribal tat, but if you were to,
tribally inspired.
It's tribally inspired. Yeah, it like falls into the category of the 90s, right? Like early 2000s.
Yeah,
it's not a good tattoo. It's a rough one.
Is he gonna get it covered?
He has been talking about getting it covered for 13 years.
I know. That's why I asked.
I just don't think that and it's so funny because it's like, dude, you got this tattoo when you were 18 and you committed then and now you can't commit to what you're going to cover it up with. Come on. Like just anything's going to be better.
Yeah.
Anything.
I mean, you can also like have an artist like get creative,
I just think like he wants to do like a half sleeve to cover it. And I just think that's a lot of like time and commitment and money as well. But the thing that's so funny about it is like he got it done in like a strip mall in Indiana when he like on his 18th, like the day after his 18th birthday, and it is the quality of this tattoo has held up.
Wow. The ink has held up.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the quality of the tat, not the design of the tattoo. The quality of the actual like tattoo. It's never like bled out. It's really like aged well in that way. But the tattoo turned 18 a couple years ago.
The tattoo turned 18
a couple years ago. And
Did you celebrate its birthday?
Begged him to get it a tribal armband because it's not like fully colored in. It's just outlined. And
like you got to like stay away from anything tribal is kind of my point.
Either way, I was like, you need to get the tattoo a tattoo.
Right. Yeah. Anything not appropriative.
Long story short, it needed a tattoo and he refused to do it.
Yeah, no, it needs it. Yeah, it could use a refresh. And look, I'm not judging. There are some tattoos that I have that I wouldn't get today.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't regret any of them. They all like, I don't care like that. But my first tattoo, I wouldn't do that.
Which one is your first tattoo?
The one on my ribs.
Okay.
Why can't I remember that one?
The arrow with the cursive.
Oh.
It's fine. Like
it's fine. Yeah.
I don't really dislike how it looks.
It's not offensive in any way.
No, it's just like if I were going today to go get a tattoo, would I get that one? I doubt it. But I don't know if I would get any of the ones. That's not true. There's a few that I would get today, but whatever. The more you get, the less you care.
That's right.
They say that, and it's so real. I'm itching for another one.
Oh, I'm dying. Obviously, we're gonna have to get FTN tattooed on us somewhere.
Big raccoon.
We'll talk offline.
I think we should just get feral written on our bodies somewhere.
I won't be doing that, but
I'm gonna get it.
We'll talk offline. You should.
Right on lower back tat that just says feral.
That's the spirit.
With an arrow.
Oh, okay.
But where the arrow's pointing, no one will know.
We'll post a picture when she gets it.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any dream journals, please?
I have a couple. They're not, bangers like the other, but they are silly. I actually have one that has to do with rabies, but it's kind of dark. I don't know what I was going through at this time. Okay, but
we're gonna dive into it.
We'll let you know.
I don't know what I'm ever going through. Okay, here I go. So in this dream, I found a brown baby bear that got into my house. It's giving Brianna. Okay. Then everyone started screaming that the mother bear was coming and was out of her mind with rabies. So I picked up the baby bear and hid in the bathroom to protect it from its mother. The baby bear obviously couldn't speak, but somehow I knew that it wanted me to protect it, and it would not let go of me. The mother bear scratched at the door all night trying to murder me and her baby. When morning came, the people in my house tried to get me to come out of the bathroom and started pouring bleach all over my floor to get me to come out. Jesus Christ. Okay, I came out with the bear screaming at everyone for trying to ruin my home. They told me that the mother bear had calmed down somehow and that I should give the bear back. I looked outside and saw the mother with the rest of her cubs outside, realizing the baby in my arms was the runt of the litter. Reluctantly, I gave the baby back, and then I woke up. Like, what the fuck is that?
I have lots of thoughts on this one.
You go.
Please.
First things first, I really want to talk about the bleach.
Yeah, that's
What's
dark.
with the bleach?
They tried to smoke you out.
They did. They tried
With
to smoke it
poison.
with poison. And who were the people? I'm really glad to hear me and Kate were not involved in your...
We're not in the stream for
which
once.
is a win for us.
Thank God, because
We're usually the villains.
Yeah, we're villains and bad friends.
So I guess my question is, when we think about the rabid mommy...
Yeah, that she somehow survived the rabies.
Right.
Which we know can't be.
No. And do bears get rabies? When did she... This... You know what? I can't. This is a lot.
I don't think mine can be dissected. I think it's too much. I think they're just too crazy. But this one is less crazy, I would say, than Train House Gollum Cat Eye Boy.
Oh, the cat
It's
eye
more
was-
realistic.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, in theory, yes, it's more realistic. Do I think that there's a chance in this universe that you're going to be holding a brown baby bear? Because aren't brown bears like... Is it like... What's the order of operations in terms of like the worst bears?
Grizzlies are violent.
The brown
polar
ones are
bears-
bad. Black ones are good.
Yeah, it's like I think it's grizzly, polar, brown, black. But it also depends. I mean, it obviously depends on
Depends on the bear.
depends on the bear, depends on the
has
environment.
rabies.
Like certain bears are like
Has rabies or not.
if they're rabid, like if they're pushed to
She crashed out is
why
what the
don't you
kids
weigh in
say.
on this, Mama Bear?
Yes, as a mother, I think I am the best to dissect a mother's need to get to her. I mean, but she was trying to kill the runt.
She was trying to kill him.
That's actually like not that uncommon in nature, though. Like there's a lot of mammals that like just reject.
like the runt of the litter, for example.
Yeah, like it's not like, especially in really big litters. Oh, we're really talking about it. Like we do not know enough about bears to do this.
No.
Mother, you're supposed to tell us what's going on in my brain.
As the mama bear,
Yeah. If this was you.
if my child had rabies and
If Gillian was rabid.
if Gillian was
and
rabid,
you were trying to unalive him.
and I decided that the most merciful choice. Well, no, I was rabid. Gillian was not rabid.
Gillian was with me.
Right. Yeah, you were rabid and wanted to unalive Gillian.
And Auntie Blaze was the only protection.
I'd hide in the bathroom.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody would smoke you out with bleach.
Yeah, what's with the
No,
bleach?
the bleach is really...
Wiping away your sins.
That's right. Cleansing your sins.
Cleansing your sins.
I am not baptized, as we do know.
Yeah.
Neither of you are. Like I said, I've got work to do.
We need plus ones.
I know, but like that... What does that mean? Do I have to be extra good?
Times 3.
Done, and done.
Yeah, our little angel over here.
That's me.
Angel Mormon Queen.
Oh, no. You know what? I'm being portrayed very bizarrely in this podcast from last episode. Like between buying the crochet swimsuit cover up.
To be fair, that's only in my dreams that are insane. Okay.
Yeah, but like
Making fun of a girl with rickets.
yeah, I'm like ableist and also religious and like a prude, and I just feel like that's not a really accurate reflection of who I am as a person.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and I want to clear the air again, and then like talking about like Maverick's emotional support hard drive and like my religious beliefs. Like I sound like this mean like Christian bully, and like I only imagine I'm giving him like some weird incel energy because like who would choose to be with like the mean Christian cheerleader? Like mean Christian cheerleader. So yeah, let the record reflect that
Kate is not a mean Christian cheerleader.
I'm not a mean Christian cheerleader.
She's a hot sinner.
That is how I'm often described.
I mean, we have a phrase that we use for you a lot, which is nice and hot.
Hot and nice.
Oh, sorry. Hot and nice.
You've said it a lot to me, and you know what? I've been called worse.
Yeah, like Kate is hot and nice, and what do we call us?
What are we? I don't know.
You guys are hot.
Hot and wicked.
Hot and wicked. Wow.
Hot and uninterested.
Yeah, like hot and don't want to be here. Hot and can we leave?
Hot and introverted.
Introverted. That's
Either of us are like really we are extroverted and introverted in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like if we're in a situation with people,
Right.
we'll be delightful. We don't have natural delight, but we can turn it on.
Correct. Yeah, we are not naturally delightful people.
Yes.
You're naturally delightful.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Everybody loves Kate.
Oh yeah, you
stop,
are.
guys.
Most of our listeners are your friends.
They are.
Well, you know.
Because we don't have
thank
any
you.
friends.
We don't have friends. And we like it that way.
Hot and not nice.
Do you have any friends?
Do you have any friends?
Should we tell that quick story of that ski girl? What was her name?
Lauren.
Lauren.
I asked a reasonable question to a really rude little girl. Okay.
I will concede that she was a brat.
Yeah. So long story short, a lot of our like inside jokes as friends will probably pop up in this podcast a lot, like why we called, Blaze and things like that.
And we'll try to do a better job of explaining them.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get you inside of our jokes. And one of the inside jokes is, do you have any friends? Because we, living in Michigan, we ski.
Well, people in Michigan ski.
But we skied. I feel like we skied a lot in our
in our youth.
I dragged you there. Me and our other friend, we dragged you both.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Tried our very
Kate
best
and I
to
are
teach
not
you.
natural.
I liked it like here and there. Like there are days when I was
Yeah.
like, I love this. I have the hang of it. Like this
Yeah,
is fun.
You and I wouldn't go skiing without Kristen.
No.
No.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
Continue.
So we were going down the hill, and we were like, I think we were at like a local ski hill. Like,
Yeah, it
not
was like the end of the day.
and a little girl, I don't remember, she was like 8 or 9.
No, younger. She was like 5.
Was she really?
Yeah, she was young. She might have even been younger than 5, like
No.
4. It was like a young kid's ski class.
Oh, well, she like basically, the ski class, she either fell, I think she fell. I don't
She
remember.
fell over, but
She,
it
like,
wasn't
tipped.
a bad fall. She tipped. Yeah, it was a tired tip, I remember. She was not injured.
No.
but-
Right, no. There was no like high speed fall.
She wasn't crying or anything either.
No, so
No.
she just sort of like tipped over and just sort of like sat there and didn't move. And like the ski class just kept going. And so we pulled over. And I want to be very clear, even though I'm a mama, I am not good with children. I would say as like as a general statement, especially not. I'm probably better now, but like back, like I didn't have any experience with kids.
No.
Not
'cause
then.
I
I never babysat. I'm an only child.
Yeah, you didn't have any like young cousins. You didn't
Nope.
babysit. You,
Nope.
Like your experience was limited.
Very limited. So like I thought she was a lot older, but apparently I was
She was
wrong.
like, this middle school girl. This
like
juvenile.
Juvenile.
So she stops, and I don't know why I was the first to approach her. I must have been like the first one that came up on her. And we were just like talking to her and like, hey, are you okay? And I thought I was asking a very reasonable question when I asked her, do you have any friends?
Because I was with you because I was like behind you and we
You and
like
I were
sat
always in
with
the
her
back.
to make sure she was okay. Yeah. And one of us said like, I'm Brianna, this is Kate, or, I'm Kate, this is Brianna. She's my friend. We've been friends for a long time. And then you said, do you have any friends?
I'm sorry. But like a conversation with a 4-year-old is not, what else are you going to ask?
It's funny because it would have been so much less weird. Like, are those your friends? Like the other kids right
It's
over
just
there.
the
like,
way it was said, which
it's
was
the way you
amazing.
said it.
Now, in hindsight, she was an absolute brat because
Whereas like she didn't have friends.
she didn't have friends. But because the ski instructor like had to come back around and was like, Lauren, like,
He's like, Lauren, not again. Come on.
Yeah, she's like, you gotta get up. They were like going in. Like it was the end of the day. Lauren has probably done this 6 other times.
Lauren did not want to be on that ski hill anymore.
She's a gal who knew what she wanted and she didn't want to ski.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, on that note, it's feral trash night. What are we doing? What are we watching?
We started strong first food wise, and we had McDonald's before we started this evening.
I had movie theater popcorn and I did have McDonald's. I had a large Diet Coke. Oh, the elixir. Are we watching anything tonight, ladies? I know we've got some work to do, but anything in the background, perhaps?
Sister Wives?
Methinks some Sister Wives?
Hey there, Sister. What's that song?
Oh, what a banger.
Do it. Sing it for the people.
Hey there, sister wife, get the hell out, it's my night. You don't know the way to his heart like I do. Hey there.
Oh my gosh, you know what? We gotta find that music video. That's what we're gonna watch tonight. That music video. All right.
Oh, on that note, that's our show. You can find us at Something Feral FTN. FTN on Instagram. I've been saying pod this whole time. I'm so sorry to our dedicated 10 listeners.
That's why we don't have any followers.
Yeah, this is all my fault. I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
gosh, I can't wait to see those numbers skyrocket
Now
tomorrow.
they'll flood in.
Lauren, if you're listening.
Yeah, please tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Anyway, Something Feral FTN on Instagram. We are Something Feral Pod on TikTok and at Gmail.
Has anybody liked the foot video?
No, and how dare all of you? First of all, if we don't have likes by the time this comes out, I'm throwing hands.
Throw them toes.
Throwing them toes.
Yours are basically hands.
Well, the listeners wouldn't know that, because no likes on our video yet. By the time this airs, I better see some likes. Anyway.
No, everybody likes your feet. It's okay.
She's going to go full Leo on us.
I know. We got to, please, for our sake, like her feet video. Wow, this is not something I thought I'd be saying on this podcast.
There's a lot of things I didn't think I'd be saying on this podcast.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're off to get feral. See you next week.